Now, let me mention some of the injuries before we get back to, because we're already up to that game anyway, Saints and Cowboys. Drew Brees, obviously, he's out for several more weeks after having thumb surgery. No other big injuries of note for the Saints. For the Cowboys, Michael Gallup, receiver, didn't practice Wednesday with a knee injury. Amari Cooper had an MRI yesterday on his ankle. He was limited in practice, so that's one to keep an eye on. Zach Martin, back injury, limited yesterday. So those are just the big names to keep in mind as the week continues to unfold, Chris. And we've begun to talk about this game. I know last year, after the Cowboys manhandled the Saints and essentially slammed the door shut on what was an incredible run of offensive performance by the Saints. And you could argue that's when kind of the Saints were exposed and they were kind of struggling after that. Maybe they got banged up physically. The Saints really wanted to play the Cowboys again in the playoffs. And to the extent that there's carryover on the roster, I think those guys are really looking forward to this game. But I say be careful what you wish for, because I just see the Cowboys as a better team. Yeah. They are on that elite level with the Rams, with the Chiefs, with the Patriots. And I've got 31-21 Cowboys over the Saints. The defense was not good last week for the Saints, and I don't think Teddy Bridgewater and company are going to be able to do enough to overcome the Cowboys' offense. Prime time, big game for Dak Prescott, trying to get paid. And the Sean Payton factor gives me some pause, but I just think the Cowboys are too good on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I hear you there. I lean very similar to you there, okay? I'm taking the Cowboys 27-21. If I just had to break it down real quick, the Cowboys offense, it's just a different offense than any time we've seen here in recent history. It's really one of the best offenses in football through 3 weeks. I've been extremely impressed. It's not about yards and numbers. It's about the creative, personnel sets, formations, movements. They're doing everything. We have not seen a Cowboys offense like this in a long, long time. So they're special that way. And then on the other side of the ball, I always worry about Sean Payton. I'm there with you too. And the Cowboys, they'll give you a few opportunities because they'll be a little aggressive every now and then and play man-to-man and let you throw a one-on-one ball down the sidelines against a Byron Jones or Chidobe Awuzie, who are usually there in great coverage. But, of course, we know a great throw can beat a great coverage. But the other thing I like about the Cowboys don't have to blitz. They can always just rush front four. Okay, they really don't have to rely on that to get pressure. Robert Quinn being back for the team, it takes maybe one of the fastest defenses in football and just makes them that much faster. And then they have the linebackers as far as Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch and Sean Lee to make that short passing game to Alvin Kamara, tough at least. And Rod Marinelli, who was in Tampa with me, John Gruden's offense, very similar to Sean Payton, except Sean Payton's just better. But I think Rod Marinelli has a good feel for that offense, and that's why they slowed him down a little bit last year. I'm going Cowboys 27-21, but I do think the Saints will put up a spirited effort. And, of course, them being home and being motivated by last year, I think makes this game, fun to watch.
Well, I agree with you. It should be a great game. It would be better if indeed Drew Brees was available, but maybe a little bit of a postseason preview, because the Saints at 2-1, and if they can hold on until Brees comes back, then I think they could be in the mix for the division title, because it seems like no one wants to step up and grab the NFC South crown, Chris.
Yeah, no, I still think the Saints are dangerous. They still have a lot of things, the DNA structures you'd like for a really quality football team. It's still a good offensive line, still a good defensive line, have a few difference makers on the offensive side of the ball, as we know, creative coaching. And, I look at them and still go, as long as they can be in the conversation for December, I have faith that they'll win the games necessary and be a handful for whoever it is if they get into the playoffs.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.